This is the murder of Gannon Stauch. Gannon Jacob G. Stauch was born on September 29, 2008 in South Carolina to Landon Bullard and Al Stauch. In 2015, Gannon's parents divorced. His father, Al Stauch, remarried Letecia Hunt, and shortly after they moved to Colorado Springs. Gannon and his little sister, Lena, moved to Colorado in 2018 to live with their father and stepmother. On January 27, 2020, Gannon is reported missing by his stepmother, Letica Stauch. She told the El Paso County Sheriff Office he left home between 3:15 p.m. and 4 p.m. local time to walk to a friend's house in Colorado Springs. The initial press release on his disappearance described the call about him as a reported for a juvenile runaway. On January 30th, 2020, Gannon's disappearance is now classified as a missing endangered person case. The sheriff's office asked anyone with information to call the authorities and blast what was described as a misinformation on social media about the case. Officials did not specify exactly what misinformation to which they were referring to. On February 3rd, 2020, Letecia Stauch responds to an online comment vilifying her in an interview with the local CBS-affiliated KKTV. Letecia stated, "I took care of Gannon for the last 2 years in our home. I would never ever hurt this child, and I know there are some questions out there. That's up to the investigation when they end up letting you guys know, but I've cooperated with them," she told KKTV. "We're going to find Gannon, and that's the main goal that we all have. I'm just ready for Gannon to come home." Letecia also stated at the time that the family had received more than 20 death threats. At this point, officials had put in already thousands of hours searching for Gannon, including through aerial drone footage and search and rescue canines. Those involved in the search include the FBI Child Abduction Rapid Deployment, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and Colorado Springs Police Department. On February 4, 2020, a neighbor comes forward with a surveillance footage that he says shows Letecia Stauch leaving the house with Gannon and returning hours later alone. Neighbor Roderick Drayton told ABC News he decided to look through his footage once the search intensified and saw Stauch get into a red pickup truck Monday morning at 10:13 a.m. The footage also appeared to show Gannon walking slowly as he approaches and get into the truck, according to Drayton. When she returned in the truck at 2:19 p.m., Gannon is nowhere to be seen. A spokesperson for the time at the sheriff's office told ABC News that investigators had a copy of the video and do not dispute Drayton's description. "This is just one piece in a very, very, very large puzzle," spokeswoman Jackie Kirby told ABC News. The Stauch neighbor, Drayton, also showed the video footage to Gannon's father, Al. He described that Al started to break down crying when he saw the footage of Letecia and Gannon going into the red pickup truck. Drayton said that Al started saying, she lied about him going to a friend's house," referring to his wife at the time, Letecia. On February 5th, 2020, Gannon's biological mother and father made a gut-wrenching plea together for anyone with information to come forward. In that news conference, they state, "A kid doesn't just disappear and no one sees him. So if you have anything that's credible, if you're afraid, don't worry about it. Imagine my son. Imagine how afraid he is," Gannon's mother, Landon Hyatt, now remarried, said through tears in a YouTube video that was posted to El Paso County official channel. Gannon's younger sister, Layla, also sat down with her parents for the statement. "I love you, Baba," she said at the end of the video. Neither parents addressed the rumor about Letecia Stauch at the time. By February 16, 2020, authorities had received over 555 tips, but none of them had led them to Gannon. In an interesting turn, on March 2nd, 2020, Letecia Stauch was arrested and held without bond in Horror County, South Carolina, before she is extradited to Colorado Springs. While Gannon's body had still not been found, she had been charged with first-degree murder of a child under the age of 12 by a person in a position of trust, child abuse resulting in death, tampering with a deceased human body, and tampering with physical evidence, according to El Paso County Sheriff Bill Elder. Letecia Stauch made her first appearance on March 11, 2020, in a Colorado courthouse after being extradited from South Carolina. She did not speak during her appearance, but authorities said they had filed over 100 search warrants in the case and were confident the boy's stepmother was their suspect. Soon after Letecia's court appearance on March 20th, authorities say they found Gannon Stauch's body in Pace, Florida, near the Escobana River Bridge. Details on what led to the discovery were not released, but the El Paso County Sheriff's Office asked for anyone who had seen Letecia in Florida from March 3rd to the 5th to come forward. The El Paso County District Attorney also filed 9 additional charges against Gannon's stepmother Letecia, including 1 count of first-degree murder after deliberation and 8 counts of committing a crime of violence. During the murder trial for Gannon Stauch, there was an overwhelming amount of evidence against Letecia. There were so many Google searches about killing someone, finding herself a new husband, how she was just a glorified babysitter, and she was tired of being her stepmom, and how she also felt that her husband was using her to babysit his kids. It was clear that she hated being in the marriage with Al Stauch, that he didn't make her feel, or she felt as if he didn't make her feel like that she was wanted or loved, or that he was still sexually attracted to her. One of the most interesting things I came across while studying this case is that she once ordered a polygraph test, a fake one, and one of the questions that was asked is, did you murder your stepson? And she looked through ways to answer that question so that she would not look guilty, or the test would not result in a guilt, which was very, very crazy and ironic, and also speak of that she was really guilty and she was the one that took away that beautiful soul, Gannon, from his parents. There were so many things that pointed to Letecia as being the person that murdered Gannon. The mattress that was displayed in the courthouse of blood was all Gannon's blood. The gunshot wound that he suffered had her fingerprints on it. There was so many things that draw authorities to zooming in on Letecia as the murderer of this young, innocent boy that did not deserve to be caught in her emotional and unstable environment. On May 8, 2023, El Paso County jurors found Letecia guilty of first-degree murder for the death of her stepson, 11-year-old Gannon Stauch, in the family Colorado home 3 years prior. Jury rejected Letecia's defense that she suffered a mental break and was legally insane when she stabbed and shot Gannon Stauch on January 27, 2022. Letecia, who is 39, was found guilty of also tampering with a human body and tampering with evidence. Immediately after her conviction, Letecia was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole and 13.3 more years. At the hearing, Gannon mother and father and some of his other family members were very emotional. Gannon's mother stated that he was born premature and weighed only 1 pound 6 ounces at his birth. When he was born, his father's wedding ring fit over Gannon's arms up to his shoulder, another relative said. Gannon's mother said, "You came into this world fighting, and unfortunately, you left this world fighting," as she cried while speaking to the court. Gannon's father, Al Stauch, March remembered Gannon's love of video games and sports, as well as his joyful approach to life. He apologized to his son for leaving him alone with Letecia. Gannon, I never in my wildest dream would have thought you would have been in danger, buddy, or I would not have left you at home with what turned out to be a murderer, he said. Before putting his head down on the podium and weeping, he told his son that he was so sorry. Letica Stauch did not appear to visibly react when the verdict was read. She yawned, fixed her hair, and drank water as Gannon family spoke. Before she was sentenced, Letecia smiled and laughed while talking to her attorneys. Lastly, Judge Gregory Weiner spoke to Letecia directly. He told her that she crafted a web of lies after the murder in an attempt to avoid responsibility, and that her claim of insanity did a disservice to people who are truly mentally ill. That just isn't credible, he turned to her and said. You knew what you were doing. You made a number of clear and conscious decisions to cover or hide what you had done. My heart and prayers go out to Gannon's mother and father and his younger siblings. This is one of the most horrific child abuse cases. May Gannon's soul rest in peace, aka G-Man. Until next time on the Meaningful Talk Crime Doc, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch up with you guys later in the comment section.